What's up, guys? Adrian with AC Designs Garage, and today I'm going to do the final walk around on Dad's chassis. We've checked all the nuts and bolts, made sure everything was tight. He's ran all the wires through the chassis. I'm going to show you where that's going to come up through and intersect with the body. He done a real bang up job on the distributor and made all the wires come out really neat. I'm going to show you how he did that and stuff. And I appreciate all the views and stuff that we've been having on the 32 startup, because this, I think, a month in and there's over 3,000 views, which is huge for the channel. But thank you guys for that, and come along for the ride. All right, starting at the front, not a whole lot's changed. You can see here where we're going to run the headlight wires are going to come out. It's all going to run all in chassis each side. I'll show you all those. So we have strings, and what you do is you just tape your wire to the string, and then you just pull it through, and it pulls it on through the chassis on the other end. And up here's where all the work started. Now we're going to do an angled billet neck, because it's hard to find a radiator hose for these things. I don't like these old flex things. We want to do a molded one that looks better, so we went ahead and got one that's angled this way for it. You'll see it later on. But here's the really cool part. I mean, you can see right here's the plug boots, how tight. Daddy really killed it on these things. I mean, it's so tight the plug wires and stuff disappear. But with these, like I said, these are Speedway motors, like our block hugger headers. These things fit really tight to the motor. But what we had to do is, I'll show you the box here in a minute. These are, they use them on race cars as spark plugs. These spark plugs are, I think, 3/8 inch shorter than most. Pretty close to the same temperature range, but that was the only way that we could get by with it, because you can see right in there how tight everything is. And see, all of them come out down here. And Daddy made these neat little brackets. Let's see if I can. They're just a little piece of stainless TIG wire, and they loop around right here, and you bolt up, and they just come out there just open like a U. So these slide in real tight, and he made all those and painted those black. Those are really neat. Spent a lot of time on it, but I think it's really worth the effort. Here's the really, really cool part, is the way he ran them like this. And there's still a lot of people going to say, oh, that won't work, but it still has the same firing order. But normally this plug is turned this way and it runs this way. They're all back and forth. What we done was we turned them all out this direction, but we ran them down, and if we had to loop them, you can see down in here where they looped around and came back. But I think that's just really cool looking. I think they sell a corrected cap, but I've heard bad things about them, how they don't work. This is just a plain regular old distributor cap. As you can see here, we still got them all labeled, but this is number 184365572. It's the same, you know, the wiring is a regular cap. See, I think I got my 33 motor up here. Maybe I can show you what a normal routing looks like here in a little bit. But yeah, it works really good. Looks neat. It's really clean. We got everything fit up. Here's some more where I was telling you about. We pull the wires, pull it. That's where the headlight wire and stuff's going to come out of the chassis, and it's going to run up through the body. There's some more of the wiring he's just got laid around. And the coil wire is going to be pretty cool. We're going to run the coil wire down, and we're actually going to mount the coil. I'm going to make a bracket here and mount the coil down here so you don't even see the coil wire. So this right here is all you see coming down off of the back of the motor. It's going to hide into the firewall real tight. All right, here's the plugs that I was talking about. See if you can see them. That's the ones we use. There's the part number, R5674-7, NGK V power. But yeah, these are the trick to running those really tight headers, because like I said, they're like 3/8 of an inch short. But that's the ones there. If you guys want them, we got them at SRI, which they're here in Mooresville. They're like a racing supply shop and stuff, and they sell a bunch of neat stuff. But I'll try to link in the description of some of these. I've seen them on Amazon. They're a little higher on Amazon than they are at SRI, but I'll try to get you a link in the description for them. Okay, back on the cap again. I was going to kind of show you. I can't find my other distributor. It was in my 33, but normally number 2, if you know on your firing order on a small block Chevrolet, big block Chevrolet, your odd numbers, let me get that right, odd numbers are on the driver's side. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, and then over here is on your cylinder numbers is 2, 4, 6, 8. So if you look here, they're still labeled so you can tell. Here's number 2. Normally number 2 should be twisted that way to go over there to your even side, if you want to call it, on passenger side. Number 2 and number 6. So these boots would be turned around that way normally. But what we done, we run them out this way, and we just brought them down and went back around to where they normally go. But a lot of times you just have to loop. That's why there's a whole lot of stuff going on down here that don't look normal. We're just basically looping it around and making it go where we want to go, but the firing order is still in the same place. And I'll show you on the other side. See, here's number 1, which normally number 1 would be pointing that way. That one would go that way, and your number 1 cylinder's up here. So what it does here, it's a lot of fishing around, but it comes down and it loops around and then goes all the way back around to number 1 and number 3. It goes all the way down and goes back around to number 3. So that's basically how you wire that in a nutshell, but it's pretty neat, I think. I think Dave done a real good job. He spent a lot of time on it, but it looks really good. Back here, cool drive shaft that we have nothing in. It come out to being, I got a lot of C10s around here, and that come out being thinking it's the front drive shaft. I don't want to steer you wrong, but I think it's the front drive shaft on a 2-piece drive shaft on a long bed 68 C10. Yeah, that drive shaft worked out perfect. We didn't have to cut anything. Small diameter. We just bought a new yoke for the front. Now, it's the Chevrolet drive shaft to an 8-inch Ford rear end. So this is the universal you need. It's a spicer. It's basically a Chevy to a Ford adapter is basically what we call it. That's your part number. 5-7439X. And I got this one at O'Reilly's. You can just call up there and give them that part number. But what it is the cap size. This is a 1310. But the cap size on the Chevrolet side is 1.062, which I think is 1 1/16 inch. And the Ford side, which would go, is I think it's an inch 1.125, which is 1 1/8 inch cap. That's an 1 1/8 inch cap. This is an 1 1/16 inch cap. So that's what you need for your universal Chevrolet to Ford adapter to go on a 1310. Like I said, this is a spicer. I think it was, I'll try to link one in the description, but it was I think it was $22. So you can see the number really good, but I'll link everything. I got an Amazon affiliate account. If you want to help the channel out, go click on it and shop through and stuff. It just helps out the channel a little bit. If y'all buy anything, I get like a certain small percentage off of it. Help me fuel my hot rod passion here. But all right, here's the back. All the fuel tank stuff, spreader bar. Man, this thing's gonna look so good when it's done. I'll be glad when it's done. I'm ready to go riding. But we have all our stuff grounded and stuff. We run a ground wire from over here to the master cylinder to the transmission. You can't have too many grounds on a fiberglass car. This is a fiberglass 32 Ford Roadster. And we're making a lot of like these bolts here. I'll show them later. We made our body mount bolts actually screw in, then they have a nut that goes on top to where you can ground from the chassis up to the body and stuff. So we're going to put plenty of them so we're not chasing ground fault issues. We've got a few little things left to do, and we're going to make that body on here, and I hope to do a video on that, us putting the body on the chassis, and it's going to start looking like a car. Then we can get our good wheels on here. I can't wait for y'all to see those. Got American Rebel Sprints on the front. I think we're running a 15x4 on the front, and a American Rebel. It's like a big window ET style wheel. It's a 16x11 on the rear. But I don't know if y'all saw the cool alternator mount and stuff. It's really tight. This is like I think it was a forklift alternator. I have to check and make sure, but It's real tight, stuck down in there. It really looks good because you can't see it. I'm a less is more type guy. I don't want a lot of frou-frou stuff. I'd rather hide it. That's like, shame you're not going to see all this. Fuel and stuff running to the chassis, and this is the power wire here that's going to run up through the body. It's going to be hidden. The battery and stuff's in the trunk, so you won't see any of it. Also, we're going to wrap the headers on this thing. I think this is some cool looking stuff. It's got like a cool gold hue to it or something. I don't know. I think it's going to look good next to the yellow and stuff. We're going to wrap it because those, even though those headers hug really tight to the engine, they're going to be close to the hood sides, and I don't want to burn the yellow paint. So I think we're going to wrap that just to be safe. Yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this journey. I hope you stick along, hit that subscribe button so you can see how she does. I hope to have a video pretty soon of us riding down the road. I can't wait for that. It's been a long time coming. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, especially like on how to wire a distributor cap. I'll try to do some things, and maybe I'll post up. If you're not following me on some of my social medias, I do a lot of like behind the scenes type stuff, but my Instagram is AC_designs on Instagram, and go check me out on there. Like I said, I post a lot of stuff, the common stuff that I do during the day at the hot rod shop and stuff, and I've been trying to film a few little videos with my phone when I'm at the hot rod shop and stuff. I know the quality's probably not great in audio and stuff, but it's pretty cool. I'll give you a look inside of what it takes to build these cars. But I have a few questions on my last video on the mufflers, which I think sound really good. But these are, we bought these off jegs.com. I guess they're house brand mufflers. They look, I think Flowmaster makes them for jegs. I'm not 100% sure. I can't be positive on that, but they look just like a Flowmaster, except they don't have the Flowmaster stamped in them. But this is like their, I think it's the Super 44, but they're cheap. I think they're like 28 bucks a piece. They sound awesome. But I'll try to link them in the description too, because I've had a lot of questions on the mufflers. But here she is in all her glory. She's fixing to have a body and look like a car instead of a dune buggy. So, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed what you saw, the little walk around on the 32. Hopefully before long you'll see it with a body on it. We'll be cruising down the road. Thanks for all you guys' subscriptions and comments and stuff and all the likes. I really appreciate them. Stay along for the journey. God bless. Go build a hot rod.